Hey there. Well, we're back. Today we're in Parowan, Utah. We've been to California. We've been up in Logan, Utah. And now we're going to be heading down to Arizona. Been sick for the last few days, so didn't get to get a lot of the messages on that I wanted to get on. However, I watched the debate, vice presidential debate, and that was very interesting. But let's go back to the presidential debate. And I'd like to point out how President Obama feels the need to attack the CEOs of oil companies and such. But it was finally brought out by Mitt Romney about his $90 billion in tax breaks for the so-called green energy people. Hell, why didn't you just give them the cash, Anyway, and I think they did give some of these people cash. But the problem with the green energy is anybody that lives near California, or people like us drivers that go into California, if you go up around a place called Tehachapi, you'll see windmills they've had there for years, as well as new windmills. You go down around Palm Springs, they've turned that into Windmill City down in that area. Now, they got them windmills, so that's not all they got. If you go over by the Hoover Dam, on one side you'll see all these power towers, and on the other side you'll see a handful. Well, where they've got all the power towers, all that electricity goes to California. The handful of power towers only go to Nevada and Utah. If you go up into Wyoming, the way it's been explained to me, Evanston, Wyoming, Fort Bridger area, you'll see windmills everywhere. What's been told to me is that all that electricity is going to California. So recently I read an article from USA, and scientists said yes, windmills can produce enough energy for everybody on this planet. But you would have to have a windmill. 1 out of every 2 acres would have to have a windmill on this earth. 1 out of every 2 acres. So that's how ridiculous this whole thing is on this green energy. But President Obama is willing to give these type of people $90 billion in tax cuts. Is that the way I understood it? If not, send me a message. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll be glad to adjust my commentary. Now, when it came to talking about large government versus smaller government, President Obama very slyly said, well, we're just providing a few ladders for those people, such as those that need to get education and such. What he's not telling you is he's digging a big hole, a really big hole. And I don't care how big of a ladder you got, once you dig that socialism hole, there ain't a ladder high enough to get out of that. He's trying to suck all these people in that aren't aware of what America is supposed to really be. Now, I'm not a constitutionalist, but I went to war for this country, and I didn't have to be drafted to do that. But I will say this, in my heart, this is what I know America is supposed to be. America is not a guarantee of life. It's not a guarantee of well-being. It's not a guarantee that you will be at the same class of people that people like President Obama want you to be, and Vice President Joe Biden, by the way. America only says that that each American will have the opportunity for these things. Now, it's my fault if I didn't prepare early in my life to take care of medical expenses, to take care of expenses for my mortgage, my car payment. That's my responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility. If I die tomorrow because I can't afford to go to the hospital, it's not the government's responsibility. It's my responsibility. I just want to tell you people, that's what America's about. A movie I saw a long time ago, I believe it was called The Grapes of Wrath. It showed during the Depression all these people packing up and just leaving their houses with the china left on the tables in the kitchen and just packing up and going. Why? Because our government wasn't then and is not now supposed to be your backpack, your carry-all, your bank, however you want to look at it. It's not supposed to be your hospital. People committed suicide during them times. People died of sickness. People died of lack of food. You know, it's not America's job. It's your job. It's my job. Take care of ourselves. So, if you want to be part of America, then you have to start thinking like an American and thinking about how you're going to take care of yourself, your family, and those others that you wish to be part of. It's not the government's job. And it's a sad thing when people die. It's a sad thing when children die. But the problem is, well, the good thing is, the people in this country, the wealthy people in this country, and even the not so wealthy people in this country, are really good at helping out, and always has been. But when the government gets in there and says, we're going to force you by taking away your money, and we're going to help these people out whether you like it or not, then what do? All you did was upset those people. You taken a good person who is generous, loving, compassionate, and now you have flipped the switch to make him an arrogant, a prideful, and a very protective, self-protective person towards his own interests. So now he's not going to give that money away, and he's going to tell you where you can put your ideas about that. That's all that does. Joe Biden keeps talking about we got to level the playing field. Why? Where in the Constitution? Tell me, I'm ignorant. Tell me, where in the Constitution does it say the government has the responsibility to make sure that there is a level playing field out there? I don't believe there's a place in there that says that. Joe Biden also tipped his hand on the Afghan war. When pressed by several times by Paul Ryan's comments about our soldiers losing the lack of support, Joe Biden finally says, that's right. We are sending our troops out there with less people and with less help because it's the Afghans' responsibility. So, Joe, good old Joe, leave it to Joe. So, Joe, that's your answer, huh? You don't give a crap. You got a son over there or Ben over there. You don't give a crap about him just because it's the Afghans' responsibility? I'm glad you're not a military leader. When those military leaders tell you they need people, they need people for as long as they need them. Not when you decide that we don't need them anymore. Not when you decide it's up to the Afghan people to step up. Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Let them go out there with less people, less support. And then from now on, Joe, everyone that dies, I'm telling you, it's on your head. Because that is a non-answer. That answer will not fly. And when you are saying that because the Afghans are killing us off over there, or the troops that we train are killing us off, but we're going to put them on separate patrols. What does that do? It leaves our soldiers that had the troop support there with less support, less backup, less response time, all because of your ideology about how the Afghans need to step up. Well, Joe, you never cease to amaze me. So, I don't think there's any real question here. Joe forgets another thing, too. When he keeps saying we got in the 2008, I actually watched him tell a citizen, we're going to take money out of their pocket and we're going to put it in your pocket. Well, Joe, you forgot one thing. It's not your money to take. No, that's the beauty of America. The money I make is my money. If I'm poor, I'm poor. If I'm rich, I'm rich. It's not the government's job to decide how poor I'm going to be, how rich I'm going to be. Get it through your head, Joe. Get it through your head, President Obama. That's what America's about. And God bless Mitt Romney for bringing up our Creator. Again, only a person that recognizes our Creator and recognizes our God can be a president of the United States. America is not about making sure everybody gets food. That's my job as a Christian. It's your job as a non-Christian, as a person of compassion. It's everybody's job, but not the government's. Not the government. People will die, sadly. People that need medical attention will pass on, sadly. But America is not about forcing anybody to help out. That's not what it's about. You can put all the ads you want on TV to suggest that type of attitude, and I believe it would work. But the minute you force America and Americans to do things that they would normally do on their own anyway, no longer America. God bless you all. Till next time. The days are getting shorter. I'm really scared. Time to stock up on the beans and bullets. Yeah, that may be sounding like a joke, but it's not for me. Take care, America. I love you.